Shabbat Shalom everyone. Here I'm back again with a new parasha. Today we're going to speak about the parasha Bo, which is the third one in the book of Shemot, and started in Bereshit chapter 10 until Bereshit chapter 13 verse 16. And we have also the Haftarah, which is in Jeremiah 46, 13 to 28. So, before everything, we need to explain for those who have never heard and for ourselves what is the purpose of reading the parashut and actually to read the Torah year after year in a cycle to understand something for ourselves. Here we have finished the book of Bereshit, and now we come to the book of Shemot, which is a particular book which is about the redemption, the deliverance of the children of Israel from the bondage of Mitzrayim, Egypt, and the step into the covenant, which is the way of the dedication to follow the Torah, which we start with their coming at Mount Sinai. Before that, we will have to see the different points from this parasha, which is very interesting. And we will learn what does it mean. So we have here the final plagues. We have the first Pesach. We have the death of the firstborn. We have then the coming out from Mitzrayim, and the feast of the Matzot, the feast of unleavened bread. Now, I am pretty sure that every one of you has already read many times this parasha, and again. Now we should understand that if I read the parasha in a pshat, in a literal text, what is a profit for me, but to learn, and if I am smart enough, I can even learn by heart. But does this bring something to me? Is it what Jehovah has planned for me, or is it something I need to discover? So I have spoken in a different parashut that in Judaism there is different way of interpretation of the Torah, which is said to have 70 faces. So, but we have one way which is called the Pardes, which is the 4 level of interpretation, and which enable us, when we are trained in it, to see what is hidden behind the letter. For that, we need to have a training. Now, I will go back to explain what is the purpose of the Torah, what is the purpose of the Brit HaChadashah, so-called New Testament, which is not new at all, because it is based on Jeremiah 31:31. It is a renewed covenant. Brit HaChadashah comes from the word Chadash, where we have Chodesh, the new moon, the new month, which is called Chodesh, and Chodesh is a renewal. The moon is not new every month; it is renewed. The Brit Chadashah is the renewing of the covenant established at Mount Sinai under a better perspective, which is in Mashiach Yeshua. So now, when I read the Torah, I have to understand. I read the Torah for myself. I will read how to behave according to the will of Elohim and to apply it to my life. First of all, it is for myself. I learn for myself, not in an egoistic way, but in a way to be able to follow what Elohim wants us to do. The Brit HaChadasha, on the other side, is given us, in particular for all those coming from among the Goyim, the nations, to repair our midot. Midot is a word in Hebrew which means the character trait. The character trait in our life, to repair. We need to do both. To have the Torah, to learn how to walk, what to eat. We have the Torah of eating with Vayikra, Leviticus 11. How to celebrate, what do we celebrate, what we don't celebrate. Celebrate Shabbat, the feast of Yehovah, and how do I behave with my neighbors, and so on and so on. This is the way of life. On the other side, the Brit HaChadasha, we deal with the inner man, the true self, which need to be renewed. And this is very, very important because it is almost never taught in assembly, that we need to renew our mind. I cannot renew my mind in a wild way or according to my own understanding. There is a way to do it. And this construction is already established in the Torah, is established by the sages of the Torah, come from Judaism. So if I don't accept Judaism, I will be open to my own doctrines, to my own interpretation, and this will bring me to the wrong way, a wrong conclusion. This is why you see many times among the those coming back to the Torah from the Goyim, from the nations, that they like to go into prophecy. But how can we go into prophecy if we don't understand the Torah, if we don't understand the deepest meaning in this prophecy? So that is one point we should ponder before we go into prophecy. Now, here in this parashut from the book of Shemot, in the first level, in the Pshat level, it speaks about the deliverance of the children of Israel by a man sent by Elohim to them, to Pharaoh, to deliver them. So this man is Moshe. Moshe is the man chosen by Elohim. He didn't choose himself. So, and he will go to the children of Israel who are in a very, very bad condition in Mitzrayim. Now, this is the Pshat level, which gives us the details about what's happened. And we see that Pharaoh, Mitzrayim, represent the negative force in our own life, which is called the evil inclination or the Yetzer Hara. Pharaoh is a typical Yetzer Hara. He resists Elohim, he resists all what Moshe will speak, because his heart is rebellious against the will of Elohim. So rebellious that come a point when Elohim himself will harden his heart. And we have to know that the deliverance from Mitzrayim, from Egypt, through the hand of Moshe, is a shadow of our own deliverance from our own Mitzrayim with Yeshua. Don't look outside the Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim is in us. We must take Mitzrayim out of our life. And this is very important to understand. This is where the Brit HaChadasha come in to help us to understand how do I remove Mitzrayim from my life. First step is that when we come to Mashiach Yeshua, we are set free from the bondage. Okay? like the children of Israel come out from Israel, we see the plague. The plague are only shadows of deeper things inside. But at the end, when the death of the firstborn is the death of the ego. I repeat, the death of the firstborn is the death of the ego. How do we see that? When Jehovah wants to bring the children of Israel out of Mitzrayim, we have seen that he let the plagues come, and he said even to Moshe, he will not listen to you. He will not listen to you. Now, take 1 minute to ponder about your own life. Excuse me. Your own life, to think about areas in your life who resist and do not want to submit to the will of Elohim. I'm sure everyone will find something which is not yet free, where we have always found excuse. And here we see easily that the blame goes to Pharaoh. The blame goes to Pharaoh. But we will see that when the last plague comes, the plague, excuse me, the plague of the blood comes, that many will not put the blood on the lintel of the door. So if I am really willing to give my life unto Elohim, I will have to find the area in my life which are not surrendered to Elohim, and I will have to deal with that. I will have to deal until it is removed. So here is the same: when the self die, the door is open to come out from Mitzrayim, and we will see that now it is a work of Elohim. Remember, the children of Israel raised their voice and cried unto Elohim. He heard their voice. He heard their voice and decided to go, because he remembered the promise he did to Abraham. So now it's the same for us. We need to understand that when we come to Yeshua, we are set free, not by our own power, but by the power of the blood of Yeshua. Here we see that the plague will come, will not affect the children of Israel. Again, the plague will come, especially the plague of darkness. It is written that the plague of darkness, it was so thick that you couldn't even see one light beside you. It was so dark. But it says in the home of the children of Israel, they were light. You see, this darkness is physical in the time of Moshe. For us, is a spiritual blindness. Spiritual blindness that we are not able to see, because we have to remove this darkness, and this darkness remove through the Torah, through the Brit Hadasha, through our obedience to Elohim. The darkness will disappear. The purpose is that we present ourselves as a living offering. What does it mean? We need to create in us a vessel, a receptacle, to be able to receive the pure light which comes from Elohim through our neshama. And that is very important to understand. And this light, when we become a channel, the channel must be cleansed. If the channel is not clean, we will not be able to receive the light. And this is why the process is sometimes painful, because Elohim will let situations in life come across our ways to enable us to see, to be challenged in order to remove things Elohim wants us to remove. I don't know yours, I know mine, but I don't know yours. Everyone must deal with that and must be prepared to bring Mitzrayim out of his own life. You understand? So, brother and sister, it is very important to understand that. You see, he said here in Shemot 10:3, he said, Moshe and Aaron went to Pharaoh and said to him, this is what Adonai, the Elohim of the Hebrews, say. How long would you refuse to humble yourself before me? Let my people go so that they may serve me. Or else, if you refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow I will bring locusts into your borders. This is the plague of the locust. Then they will cover the face of the earth so that no one will be able to see the ground. They will eat the remainder of what escaped, whatever is left from the hail, and eat every tree that grows for you out in the field. So the Pharaoh, the Pharaoh's servants said to him, how long will this man be a snare to us? Send the men so they may serve Adonai the Elohim. Don't realize yet that Mitzrayim is being destroyed. So, and he said, but he said here that Pharaoh was not ready. So the plague came, and when the plague came, Pharaoh called Moshe to remove it. You see? And he said, what did he say? Pharaoh quickly called for Moshe and Aaron and said, I have sinned against Adonai your Elohim and against you. Listen to the wording. I have sinned against Adonai your Elohim and against you. Now forgive my sin, only this once. Please, so pray to Adonai your Elohim, just so he will take this death away from me. But your Adonai hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he did not let Bnei Israel go. You see, it was not the time, because Pharaoh was not ready to let the people go. This is in our life. As long as we take hold of something, we will not get free. This means we will not get out of Mitzrayim. We will not take the Mitzrayim out of us, because there is still things in our life. I explain. You know, we have been raised, majority of us, in a Western environment. This Western environment today represents Mitzrayim and its doctrine, idols, and so on. So we don't even realize that we are in bondage. It is only when we come to the knowledge of Yeshua and the Torah that we can be set free. Yeshua himself said, you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. It is in the moment we come to know the truth that freedom comes. But we need to apply the truth to ourselves. And the Bnei Adam are of two parts. One side is the evil inclination, the Yetzer Hara, the good inclination, the Yetzer Tov. The evil inclination want its own ways according to the flesh. Shall deal with that, and we're going to see that in the book of Romans, and which has been mostly misunderstood. I will look here in the book of Romans. We go to the chapter 7. Let me see. I will go a bit lower. It said here in verse 5, for when we were in the flesh, the sinful passions that came through the Torah were working in our body part to bear fruit for death. If you agree, because the Torah exposed sin, okay? But now we have been released from the Torah, having died to what confines us, so that we serve in a new way of the Ruach and not in the old way of the letter. Because in another place shall explain that the letter kills, the Ruach give life. we follow the Torah not according to the letter, but according to the Ruach. This does not mean that we don't follow Torah. We follow the Torah, but in a higher level, led by the Ruach. And he said, what shall we say then? Is the Torah sin? May it never be. Chas v'shalom. On the contrary, I would not have known sin except through the Torah. For I would not have known about coveting in the Torah, nor say, you shall not covet. But sin, taking an opportunity, work in me through the commandment, all kinds of coveting. For apart from the Torah, sin is dead. No Torah, then if there were no Torah, no sin. So, once I was alive apart from the Torah, when the commandment came, sin came to life. It is a Torah that make every person, every man, to understand sin. And I die. The commandment meant for life was found to cause death. Sin taking an opportunity through the commandment deceived me, and through it killed me. So then the Torah is kadosh, commandment is kadosh and righteous and good. So therefore did that which is good become death to me? May it never be. Rather, it was sin working death in me, through that which is good, that sin might be shown to be sin, and that through the commandment sin might become utterly sinful. For we know that the Torah is spiritual, but I am of the flesh, sold to sin. Here, Shaul is speaking about the nature of the flesh, okay, the carnal man. For we know that the Torah is spiritual, but I am of the flesh, sold to sin. I do not understand what I am doing. For what I do not want, this I practice, but what I hate, this I do. You see? He said, for what I do not want, this I practice, or what I hate, this I do. The opposite, this is a battle within us. In another place, Shaul will say, walk in the Ruach, you should not fulfill the desire of the flesh. You see? It's always this battle between the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, and the Yetzer Tov, the good inclination. But if I do what I do not want to do, then I agree with the Torah that it is good. Of course, because if I do what the Torah says I should not do, then I acknowledge that the Torah is good, because the Torah shows me that what I am doing is wrong. So now it is no longer I doing it, but sin dwelling in me. Alors, I remind that sin is a transgression of the Torah. It's not something take out of the thin air, but is the transgression of the Torah, according to 1 John chapter 5. So, for I know that nothing good dwells in me, that is in my flesh. So, for to will is present in me, but to do the good is not. Here it presents something very interesting, because he says, for I know that nothing good dwells in me. In what? In me, in the flesh. That is in my flesh. The flesh is one part. The flesh is what we use every day to move. But the true man is inside us. That is the nefesh, and its different level, spiritual level, because the soul of man, the nefesh, is in many levels. We have the flesh, which is the animal nature of man. Then we have the ruach which makes us aware of our connection to the divine. Then we have the neshama. The neshama is a divine part of following in us. Then we have other levels we have not for us to access. It's the chaya and the yerida. We speak on another day. But now we have to understand that we have to collect. We are not animals. Animals do not have a neshama. Animals have a ruach, but they have not a neshama. So an animal is different. It's like we will say today, program to live as a dog for the dog, to live as a cat for a cat, a lion for lion, and so on and so on. But we have the particularity that the flesh want to go its own ways. We see that in the book of Bereshit with Chava and Adam. The consequence of that was a spiritual death. Spiritual death, in fact, Adam lived 930 years. So we see that in the day when he literally, he didn't die. He died when he was 930, but he died in one day, because one day equals 1,000 years. So we have to understand that we can still live, because the majority of people in the world are living, some 60, some 70, some 80, some 90 and more, but they are spiritually dead. This means there is no renewal in their nefesh. And when they die, they will be separated from the life to come. Now, but he said in verse 27, Romans 7:20, but I do what I do not want. It's no longer I doing it, but sin that dwells in me. You see, this is like a rebellion in our own personality. I do what I do not want. It is no longer I doing it, but sin that dwells in me. When we look at Pharaoh, he does things although he knew that it's not good to go against the children of Israel, because they are the people of the mighty Elohim. I do not, but his heart was so hard that he was not able to see that until the death of the firstborn, which I say again, represent the death of the ego. Now, at the end, Pharaoh will let the children of Israel go. You see here, verse 21, Romans 7:21. So I find the principle that evil is present in me, the one who wants to do good. For I delight in the Torah of Elohim with respect to the inner man. Now I speak to the inner man. But I see a different law in my body parts, battling against the law of my mind and bringing me into bondage, into Mitzrayim, under the Torah of sin, which is my body parts. Miserable man that I am, who will rescue me from this body of death? Thanks be to Elohim, it is through Mashiach Yeshua, our Adon. So then, with my mind, I myself serve the Torah of Elohim, but with my flesh, I serve the law of sin. So, Mashiach is the one who delivers us, who set us free. But there is no magic, because we have to do our part. We have to be set apart. We go back now to the parasha, and we will see what is going on. Now we have this plague, okay, and suddenly we see that Adonai prepare the children of Israel to come out and give them a mark of the month. You see, this month will mark the beginning of month for you. It is to be the first month of the year for you. There is a lot of discussion about this. We have to understand the month. He said here, this is the month of Av, okay, and this is a particular month which is connected to the death of Yeshua. That's the purpose. But we have to know that we have different beginning of month or the beginnings of years in Judaism. Once again, if we don't want to understand that Judaism as a key for us to understand the Torah, then we are misled by an evil spirit, the spirit of the world, which makes people think they are superior because of Yeshua or because of Jesus, like in Christianity. But this is a big mistake, because our renewing will not come if we don't understand that Judah has a key to understand. Yeshua was a Yehudi, he was a Jew. He was not from the world. He practiced Judaism. I repeat, and he lived among Jews. So if we want to understand, we will have to learn from Judah. I say it again, we will have to learn from Judah. And all those who do not want, but they are delivered unto their own self. Their own self, the evil inclination. They think they are superior, they don't know anything. And this, I speak also to my friends in the Philippines. I love the Philippines because I have lived there almost 3 years, and my wife is from the Philippines. My heart is toward these precious people in the Philippines, and I know that there are many who want to be teachers, but not according to the knowledge. They have no knowledge, because themselves have not been renewed. They don't understand, they teach what they don't know. It is unfortunate, but today we need to speak out. We need to say to all these precious seed that I need to learn for myself. And if it is not according to what is taught in the Torah, in Judaism, I have to live and to search for the right way. I encourage you to dig into yourself to see what can I learn from this place or from this place. If I don't learn, then I have to leave and to look for another place and to pray for that. Okay? So now, he said that he give now the instruction for the Pesach. Pesach is not Passover, okay? Passover is a very bad translation. It's not Pesach. Pesach means, and has another meaning. So it said you will take a lamb and you will keep it until the lamb must be without blemish, and you may take it from the sheep or from the goats. So this lamb, we know, is connected directly to our Adon Yeshua, who is called by Yochanan the Lamb of Elohim. Okay? And he said, you must watch over it until the 14 days of the same month. Then the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel is to slaughter it at twilight. Also, it's the word is Ben Harbaim, is between the two lights. They are to take the blood and put it on the two doorposts and on the cross beam of the house where they will eat it. So, every one of us know that the blood will be applied upon every doorpost of the house, and he will be a sign. And here we read very carefully. He explained how to eat the lamb, and he said in the verse 12, Shemot 12:12, I will go through the land of Mitzrayim on that night and strike down every firstborn, both men and animals. I will execute judgment against all the gods of Mitzrayim. I am Adonai. So here, very interesting, because he doesn't say, I will look to those who are bad and I will kill them, or I will execute judgment against those who are very evil. He said, no, I will go through the land of Mitzrayim. This means I will go also through the land of the place of the children of Israel, and there is no difference. If there is no blood on the doorpost, then the judgment will fall on everyone. Children of Israel or Mitzrayim, it will fall. All the Egyptians will also be affected. So it's very important to understand that the blood will be a sign for you on the houses where you are. When I see the blood, I will, he tries to say, I will pass over you. That's not true. He said, I will stand, so there will be no plague among you to destroy you when I strike the land of Mitzrayim. In fact, the word Pesach derives from a word which means to be lame, to be not able to move. So this means that when the Malak, the messenger of death, come and the blood is before the house, he's the hand of Elohim in order to protect. This is the blood you and me apply when we give our life to Elohim through Yeshua. The blood of Yeshua is upon the doorpost of our heart. Upon the doorpost of our heart. We need to understand this because it's very important. All those who do not apply the blood will fall into judgment. It doesn't matter if it is Egyptians or if it is the children of Israel. Judgment fall. And we know, according to the record of the Sage, that many thousands of the children of Israel died during the plague. And he says here, these days to be a memorial for you, you have to keep it as a feast to Jehovah. Throughout your generation, you have to keep it as an eternal ordinances. And then he introduced the feast of Matzot. For 7 days you have to eat Matzot, but on the first day you must remove chametz from your house. For whatsoever eats chametz, that means what is leaven, from the first day until the 7th day, that soul will be cut off from Israel. Now, the feast of unleavened bread is a marker and a reminder for us every year. We have to remove this chametz, this leavener, in our life. And what is that? This chametz represents all what we have in the old nature, all what we bring from the world. When we come to Yeshua, we have to remove it, all our wrong attitude. And brother and sister, I want to understand that it's not a joke. It is a must. It is a must. We need to do that. We need to go through the process of, which is called in Hebrew, the tikkun hanefesh, the restoration of our character traits. We need to go through, and there is a lot of work. For some, it will be to work on his anger. The other one, it will be on his jealousy. To the other one, it will be about his immorality, and so on and so on. These are all the traits of character that we need to work. Remember, King David said in a psalm, he said, wherever I go, you are there. If I go in the deepest of the sea, you are there. If I go to Sheol, you are there. There is no place where we can hide before Elohim. He reads our thoughts, he reads our heart, he knows, and he say, I, Jehovah, try the heart of man, and I search the heart of man, and try the rein to reward everyone after his deeds. In the book of Yirmiyahu. So we need to understand that there is no place where we can hide before Elohim. We can hide before brothers and sisters when we go to an assembly to make our face shine, to display the shiny face. But what is behind this shiny face, we don't want to show. And this is where we have to work. This is what it means to take Mitzrayim out of us, out of ourselves, and to follow Yeshua. When we have to die to ourselves, the dying is to bring the ego, the self, to known, finish, to known. We need to remove this self in order to follow Elohim. Remember Yeshua, what does he say? He said, not my will, but thy will. And this is what we need to understand for ourselves. It's the same. We need to remove all this that hinder us, or because I don't like this brother. I don't really know. You know why we don't like this brother? Simply because he doesn't behave like we expect him to behave. This doesn't mean that he's wrong. And even if he is wrong, it is because I have no consideration for his own struggle, of his own struggle. This is what we have to understand. It is a battle in this world. What is going on today in the world, it doesn't matter if you are in the east, in the west, in the north, in the south, or what is going on with the COVID, with the war in Ukraine, and all these things, what you see, it is a preparation for the coming deliverance. So we should be motivated to work on ourselves. If I work on myself, I will be able to accept my brother and sister and to be a helper. A helper. Remember, Yeshua answered to the Pharisee when they asked him the two greatest commandments. The first is to love Jehovah, your Elohim, with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. And the second is to love your neighbor as yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself. I need to love myself, not in a selfish way, but because of what Elohim has done in my life. And when I have done that, I am able to love my neighbor, my brothers and sisters, because I will see them as really one with me. If I go in the book of Yohanan, I want to show you something. In the book of Yohanan, in the chapter 17, there is a beautiful prayer from our Adon Yeshua. And he said here, I will go down. Okay, here. He said in verse 22, 23, he said, I pray not on behalf of these only, this means the Talmidim, the disciple, but also for those who believe in me through their message. Okay, we have the Brit Hadasha. That they all may be one, just as you, Father, are in me, and I am in you, so also may they be one in us, so the world may believe that you sent me. The glory that you have given to me, I have given to them, that they may be one, just as we are one. I in them, you in me, that they may be perfected in unity, so that the world may know that you sent me and love them as you love me. So, now we have to understand what does it mean to be one. So, if I don't understand that, I will have problem. Okay? Because in the creation, in Bereshit chapter 1, we see the creation of man. Let us make man in our own image. And this is not so simple to explain. I will not go deep inside it, because we need to study the tree of life, and this tree of life will reveal the unity. But just for you to have a taste of it, we need to understand that in the creation, the primordial Adam called Adam Kadmon, is the soul of all the believers. The soul of all the believers, which are in Adam. So remember that Abraham's seed is in Yitzhak, in Yaakov, and then in the 12 tribes. You see? So we have to understand that unity will come from one Adam. We are all part of the divine through our neshama. And we need to prepare ourselves to be again united as one with Yeshua, with our Father in heaven. And this is the process what we have to go. We need to take Mitzrayim out of us, Egypt out of us, the self, and to be ready to accept now the unleavened bread when Yeshua come in our life to change us. Then we are the nature become a godly nature. We are transformed. We are changed by the transformation. The more I dig in myself to cleanse myself, the more I prepare this vessel to receive light from above. Light which comes through the channel because I prepare the vessel. I prepare the vessel to receive this light. And if I don't do that, I am carnal. I am carnal, and I am sold to the evil inclination. Sold to the evil inclination. So we need to understand what we read in the PARASHA today, PARASHA Bo. It is about the deliverance from our own Egypt. Our own Egypt. So when I study, I have to see the parallel between Moshe. Moshe was sent to the children of Israel to deliver them literally. This means he delivered the carnal man from the trap of Mitzrayim. Yeshua came to deliver us spiritually from our own Mitzrayim, our own Egypt. This is how we have to see in the parallel between Moshe and Yeshua. Both have been sent by Elohim. Both have a work of deliverance. The one is literal, the second one is spiritual. If you read in the book of Corinthians, in 1 Corinthians 15, we see Shaul speak about that, and it's very, very fascinating. Because when we understand that, just let me see that I found it. Just wait, you see it written in verse 45, you see, so also it is written, the first Adam became a living soul, the last Adam became a life-giving spirit. However, the spiritual is not first, but the natural, then the spiritual. The first man is of the earth, made of dust. The second man is from heaven. Okay? So now, this means we see here, the first Adam, we see the children of Israel came out physically from Egypt, from Mitzrayim. We come out from our own Mitzrayim through the second Adam, here, or the last Adam, who has become a life-giving spirit. This is what we have to understand. So I need to work on that in order to remove every part of Egypt from my life. I don't have to look at others. I don't have to look at others and to point with my finger, because this is not the way. What we need to do is to cleanse our house. Remember what Yeshua said, why do you try to remove the little thing from the eyes of your neighbors when you are not able to remove the beam in your own eye? So we have to understand that. And this is for us, for every one of us. Every one of us need to work on that and to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. Romans 12 verse 2 shall say, we have lived this world. In the theory, we have lived the world, yes, because we are in Mashiach Yeshua, but we are still in bondage if we don't remove Egypt from my life. So we're going to see in the next parasha how it is and what we should do, and what is the purpose to come out of Mitzrayim. He said it in this parasha when he sent Moshe to Pharaoh. He said to him, let my people go that they may serve me. He doesn't say, let my people go. He said, let my people go that they may serve me. We become slave, servant of the living Elohim. Not by force, but with a willing heart. Why? Because Elohim is the one who has given us life. The life we have today is given from Elohim to everyone on earth. Everyone on earth has received the breath of life from the living and eternal King, the King of the universe, the creator of everything. So we have to understand that. And we understand that I am free from this system which put me in bondage, but I become slave to my Creator. This means I am a servant, a willing servant of the Creator. Okay? So we're going to see next time what's happened now after they leave Mitzrayim. What is the way, where they will go, and what they will do. And we will try to compare with our life through Yeshua HaMashiach. Okay, I hope this has been, will be helpful for you to understand. And we see you next Shabbat with the next parasha. So just ponder about the situation, and everyone must look at himself and pray to Adonai to reveal what is to be changed in our life. Sometimes we know, but we don't want to see. We know, but we don't want to see, because the process is sometimes painful. So, my friends, I hope this will be a blessing unto you. May you be blessed, and see you next Shabbat. I wish you a Shavuot Tov for those who are finished in the East, and a blessed Shabbat for those who will still enter into the Shabbat today. Shalom. See you next time. Bye-bye.